Hello and welcome to this evaluation of the Unified User Experience, or UUE. Today we're going to talk about how to enhance your BPO client experience and reporting. So let's get into the questions for the problem statement. Why do most BPO service providers struggle with agent screen optimization? How can you make your screens dynamic to maximize the options that your clients have for capturing data and guiding the agents with useful information? So the role of business process outsourcers is difficult in that it embodies challenges set forth by many different clients, multiple clients. With each request comes some type of new challenges or angles to what the group is trying to accomplish. In my experience, I have seen everything from fulfillment to medical use cases that are complex and demanding of the technology. So the goals are achievable with the right no-code solution, which is often what a BPO chooses to implement. They don't want to spend years and years developing something custom. So these challenges on the execution side are tough, but the reporting and analysis portion also presents its own challenges, because if you have a system that's no code and it adapts to what the client wants to see or what the client has to have, but it doesn't do the same thing on the reporting side, what use is it? What good is it if you can't report the results dynamically back to the client? So someone a long time ago in the BPO space said to me, if the normal sport of business is fishing, then the BPO model would be fly fishing, right? BPOs are having to reset and recast their line, so to speak, all the time and adapt to many different technologies, many different scenarios. So that's why we look at a platform like Ivenix as a standard for business process outsourcers, because you have, looking from left to right on this current screen, your interactions coming through, and the client has many options for interactions. First off, inbound, outbound calls, text messages, emails, social media. So it gives you a lot of options to service your clients. All that information from these interactions is memorialized and searchable. So that makes it easy. It's at your agent's fingertips. And then you can combine that data. So let's say that the client is currently using Microsoft Dynamics or NetSuite or something of that nature, or maybe the client has 3 different platforms and you need to synchronize all that data together. That's possible. So what you'd want to have happen ideally, phone call comes in, we reach out to those 3 data sources, we pull all the information into a single screen, and then we have a very powerful inbound scripted process to do whatever your client wants to do. When I say very powerful, what I mean is we can put the data wherever your client wants, and we can have the data behave in many different ways, again, using a no-code solution. So just looking at this screen, let's take a simple inbound scripted process. On the top left, you've got the customer card or contact record for the customer, the individual contact. And then on the bottom left, you've got the customer journey, or all the interactions that we've had with that customer. So be it a text message or email or anything of that nature, you'll be able to pop up the details of all those interactions. So I can work a use case. Let's say that a common BPO practice is to sign up clients for insurance services. That would be in the center of the screen. The customer contact lookup would be on the left side of the screen, and then the customer journey, all the interactions are on the bottom left. And then on the right side of the screen, we have the knowledge base, because as you're onboarding people for insurance, they're going to have questions, and you'd be able to search and use the parent-child hierarchy to find the answers, to give them the intelligent answers to their questions. So that's essentially what the unified user experience can do for a business process outsourcer, is to give you a very deep scripted process that's all a no-code solution. It's all drag and drop. You can add the data fields that you need. You can synchronize the data fields on the fly. So if your client comes in and they say, we have this complex process, it's like home shopping network. There's a lot of options. There's a fulfillment file that needs to go out. There are payments that need to be collected. There are a lot of rules that need to be implemented. The UUE can satisfy those needs and have a multi-step process. So we had done an example for a cosmetics company. They had multiple packages. Each package had multiple options. Each package with multiple options had different payment levels. Each payment level had different shipping, and there was a fulfillment file that needed to be delivered to the fulfillment house in real time. And we can also, I mean, in conjunction with that process, that home shopping network example, we can also satisfy onboarding insurance. So we do have clients that sign up for medical insurance as well to our platform using the inbound scripted process, which would, you know, if you need to book appointments, you've got a calendar object in here. If you needed to access a portal, we can embed a portal into this. There's a lot that can take place. On top of that, what you have is the ability to track, you know, using, this is the process automation piece. I'll get to that in a second. You can track using KPI dashboards, what's happening with your client stats. Like I said, the other side of the coin, in addition to the inbound scripted process, is the ability to track, to show your client a dashboard. Not only can you show your client a dashboard that they can drill down into, but you can also color code this dashboard to their corporate color scheme so that it's personalized to them. And everything is very versatile here. You've got all the interactions information combined with all the use case data. And so you can build some very powerful dashboard components and analytics. Now, we set everything up for you, full concierge process. We'll help you out, but we'll also do full training. So you do have the ability to create unlimited dashboards within this platform. Everything is a per user license, which is really nice, especially when you're servicing, you know, hundreds or thousands of clients. Now, we talk about the automation piece. When your client comes to you and says, hey, we need X, Y, and Z to happen. Again, we need some kind of a shipping update. We need some kind of a fulfillment file to go out. We need a payment to be processed. We need automated notifications, automated emails and text messages to go out to the client. All those things are possible within the system, but that's just scratching the surface. This system can also assign work automatically to your agents. It can execute multiple actions per node. It can do interdepartmental routing if necessary. So you could say, we start with customer service, and then we go to accounting, and then we go to some type of finance. All the rules are based on simple and or logic. So we have and or logic filters, and then we have groups within groups of and or logic filters. So if you can think of a logical statement in your mind, then you can run this system. So it's adaptable. It can do work assignments. It can do notifications. It can keep track of SLAs. It can notify clients, and it can notify contacts. It can notify your internal team members. So again, there's thousands of things that process automation can do within the system. But then we marry that to the dashboards where you measure results, and you can measure results against any data in the system. That includes all your interactions, all your use case data. And then we also have things like the Kanban, which will keep track of where everything is at in the process. You could say in the use case of the order fulfillment, how many new orders do we have? How many orders do we have that are being captured? How many orders have been escalated because there's some type of a problem, maybe a problem with like a credit card processing, whatever the case may be. And then as a manager, you can come in, have a stand-up meeting with your team. You can drag things around. You have ultimate control over this Kanban. And you could have multiple Kanbans, you know, for different clients. Every client could have different Kanbans, and they're defined for the processes moving from left to right. They're always drag and drop. They're always easy to manage. Then lastly, we have our integration mappings, so that when we're doing integrations, with the client's, NetSuite, or with the client's Dynamics, or the client's Salesforce. We can map their external data fields. See, the right side here is their external data field, mapping that to our data field on the left natively. Once the data fields are mapped, those become drag and drop in our system. And you can literally put data anywhere that you want on the screen. And each screen is curated for every interaction. So if I had an inbound phone call, I might see this screen, right? If I had an inbound email, I might see a completely different screen, or an inbound text message would show me a completely different screen. The screen is always going to be relevant to the inbound channel for communication. So each different phone number is a different channel. Each different email address inbound is a different channel. And you would pull up potentially a different screen for each one of those. And it knows what data needs to display for that phone number or for that email address as an inbound unit. So inbound sales would have a different screen as opposed to inbound customer service. Everything is driven off of the interaction conduit. And then this also works with your contact center, your skill-based routing. It will marry the two systems together in terms of your contact center skill-based routing, and it will utilize its own process automation. Where the skill-based routing stops, that's where the UUE can kick in with its own logic and use these long workflow cadences to do many, many thousands of different things, including triggering outbound calls, follow-ups, things of that nature. So it's an extraordinarily powerful system. It's very deep. It's too deep for the scope of this conversation or this presentation. So I would encourage you to go to our website. That's www.ivinix.com. That's IVINEX.com. Or reach out to sales@ivinix.com. That's sales@ivinex.com. And I want to thank you for your time and have a great day. Goodbye.